far. I am so excited to share a little bit more insight of what it's like to be a Disney Professional Intern and just answer some of your frequently asked questions. I really do get so many questions about my role, which I don't blame you because it is a very unique experience and opportunity. So I'm really excited to answer some of the questions you guys asked me on Instagram. So hopefully that will provide more insight and help you in your journey of pursuing a Disney Professional Internship. Okay, so one of the more frequently asked questions that I get is, what is your favorite part about your internship? And there are so many different aspects that I do like about my job. One, I just love being able to work for the Walt Disney Company on this level, and it's just so neat because I started working out, woohoo! I started working in the parks at Disney World. I was a character performer for 3.5 years when I was in high school and college, so being able to work in an office now and just have my own Disney.com email and just have my different name tag, it's just very neat how I've been able to kind of take the next step and build my career a little more. So that has been super amazing. But again, I just love working for Disney. It's such an incredible company. So just being able to work for them is an honor and a privilege. But I would say specifically about what I do, my favorite part is being able to go out in the parks and take video and pictures, which we call asset collection, which basically means an asset is basically anything that you can use on social media to add flair to your copy or anything like that. So that's probably my most favorite part of my job because that's just what I love to do. I had some of my coworkers ask me such funny questions like, who is your favorite communication specialist in your vertical? Definitely you, Brianna. And then they all asked, who's your favorite co-cast member? I'm not going to answer that. Okay, and then someone else asked, are all the internships 6 months long? The answer is no. So typically they are 6 months long, which I feel like is very smart on their end because like it basically takes 3 months to even feel 100% confident in what you're doing. So it's really nice to have a longer time to be able to learn more. But they do have some internships that are 3 to 4 months, especially if they say summer only. So definitely look for those if you only have a limited amount of time period, but mine is 6 months long. But there is usually the opportunity to extend. So you could stay for over 6 months, which sometimes your leader will ask you if you want to stay for a year. So that's good for some people. For me, I'm going to be exploring other things after my internship ends. I'm hoping, this was another question too. Actually, this was probably the most popular question is like, what's the point of doing an internship after you graduate? Like, don't you want to get a full-time job? So for me, I really wanted to do an internship after I graduated because the beautiful thing about internships is that after your 6 months or 3 months or a year is up, there's really no strings attached. So if you do want to pursue other things, you don't have to quit your job or anything like that. It's truly a learning experience. And then after you're finished with your internship, you can either try to stay or explore other things. So a lot of people asked too, like once your internship ends, do you think you can get full-time at Disney? Is it kind of guaranteed or is it more likely? I would definitely say it's more likely because you've already built so many connections and you already have experience with the company and in a professional role, which is amazing. So I definitely think it gives you a huge advantage, especially with those connections and networking opportunities. So I would definitely say so, but unfortunately it's not guaranteed. And with Disney, sometimes it can be really, really tricky to find a job in your area. Of course, there's always tons of jobs, especially in the park, but if you want to stay in a professional position, sometimes it's super, super difficult to find it. It really has to be the right timing. You have to connect with the right people and hopefully it can happen, but definitely not guaranteed. And some people, you know, are just not able to stay with Disney, so they have to go somewhere else and then maybe come back to Disney when the opportunity arises. But for me, I'm actually, after my internship ends in January, I'm actually either going to try to do another internship so I can have another learning experience, or I'm really going to try to pursue part-time employment in a professional setting. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm really hoping to work part-time, maybe in my department or in a different department, still doing social media and communications. But I'm just really hoping for a part-time role because, I mean, obviously YouTube and my personal social media takes up a whole lot of my time, and right now I'm working like 80 hours a week because I do this a whole lot. And then I work at Disney 40 hours a week. That was also another question. What are your hours? I work 40 hours a week full time, but I'll go in detail to that later. So yeah, that's my dream, is to get part-time. So we'll know, who knows if that'll happen. It's going to be very unlikely, very, very unlikely. So I'm definitely keeping my options open and exploring other things, but I'm just really thankful for this experience. And but it was important to me to, if I'm going to continue being an intern, I want to explore other internship opportunities so I can just continue to soak up information and learn more and make connections throughout the company. Okay. Oh, someone asked, are you able to do it as part-time? Usually they don't have internships that are part-time. I think occasionally they do, but usually the internships are full-time. So you work 40 hours a week, 9 to 5. I actually don't usually work 9 to 5. My manager is super amazing and flexible with me, and she lets me work like 7 to 4 sometimes, or like 8 to 5, you know? So I love that. Or that would be a 9-hour day, but actually I do that a lot. Sometimes most weeks I'll actually work 9-hour days, Monday through Thursday, and then Friday I get to have basically a half day, so that's really nice. So I can do something. Usually Brandon, my fiance, he gets every other Friday off at his job. Amazing. So usually we like to do fun things on Friday. So I love being able to do that, and I'm really thankful that my manager is flexible in that way. Okay, another question is, what kinds of internships do they have and what qualifications do you need? So they truly have so many different internships. There's practically an internship for every major. It's really incredible. So if you go to DisneyInterns.com, you can explore all the available opportunities they have now. Right now, we're in September. It's actually a very great time to apply because they're preparing to hire for people coming in the spring. So for me, I came in June, so I applied in January, February. In February is when, or the end of February is when I received my offer. So if you're looking for an internship in the spring, you should apply during this time. And then if you're looking for an internship that starts in the summer, you should apply after Christmas. So one person asked, what is the interview like? So I actually created a whole video about my internship interview process. So I'll link that in the description below so that you can get a better idea of that, because I explained like my whole process and all my tips I have. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you. Someone asked, what are the benefits of being an intern? And there truly are so many. One of them is just building those connections and just being able to soak up and learn all of this different information. And at least everything I've heard about Disney internships, and I can definitely vouch for my experience, you are treated like a regular employee. I mean, you really are given so much responsibility and so much work and tasks and just things to get done. So it's not an internship where you go get coffee and like file things in a cabinet. It's very hands-on, and you definitely, again, have a lot of responsibility. So it definitely feels like an entry-level position opposed to just an internship. So super valuable learning experience. One person asked, can you go to Disney for free? And yes, you sure can. So everyone who's an intern, you get a main gate pass, which you can use to get yourself in whenever you want. There's a few blackout dates, which means there's a few days of the year where you can't use it because the capacity of the park is going to be really high, and of course they want their paying guests to have first dibs of the park, which I understand. So we get a main gate pass, and then after you work 150 hours, you get 3 guest pass. So I'll start accumulating that, which is really great because Brandon, my fiance, he doesn't have a pass, and some of my friends don't have a pass. So it's really awesome that they give you park admission so you can enjoy the stuff you work on. Someone asked, is the start day flexible or do you have a specific first day? For me, my recruiter told me when I would be starting, so I wouldn't, and all of the people in my department who are interns, they all started the same day, so I think they definitely have arrival periods. But you should definitely make it known to your recruiter if you have a family vacation or something like a graduation that you have to go to, so they can help work around and better adjust your start date. Another big question is it a paid internship? And yes, it is paid. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine if I was working 40 hours a week for nothing? So crazy. I'm a big believer that if someone is working for you, they should be paid. Yeah, if you're working hard, like we work hard, us interns at Disney, we work so hard, and getting paid, like we have to make a living. I mean, all of the other interns I work with have graduated from college too. So yeah, we have to make a living some way or another. So they definitely pay fairly. Of course, I'm not making millions, but it's fair. Someone asked, can you have a Disney internship after doing the DCP? So the DCP is the Disney College Program, and yes, definitely you can. I work with a couple people who have done the Disney College Program and then got an internship as well. I personally didn't do the Disney College Program. I just worked for Disney part-time when I was in high school. I just auditioned and because I lived in Orlando. I grew up in Orlando, so I've always just worked at Disney because that's what people in Orlando do. We work at Disney. So I never did the college program. So another question I got was, do you have to do the Disney College Program in order to get an internship, or does it make you stand out more if you've done the Disney College Program? And I would say it really just depends. I think for most positions, they like if you have some Disney experience working with the company, but it's definitely not required. I think actually most of the people I work with haven't done the Disney College Program and didn't work for Disney before they got their internship, so it's definitely not required at all. But it definitely doesn't hurt because you're able to share your experiences and you already have that guest relations and consumer mindset and just Disney magic experience already. So I would think it would give you an advantage, but it's definitely not required because I work with tons of people who never worked for Disney before. Someone asked, what kind of majors are they most likely to hire? So again, they really truly have such a variety. I mean, they have internships with Animal Kingdom where you can be conservation intern or work with the animals, and they have all kinds of different internships for engineering and math and blah, 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 all different kinds of majors. They definitely do have a lot of communications internships as well, which I'm in, so there's definitely an abundance of those internships. But again, there's really so many different kinds, and you have to keep in mind we also encompass ESPN and Marvel and Lucasfilms and Pixar, so you also have all those different entities that you can apply to among the Disney internships. So we also have internships for Lucasfilms, like I said, or you could work in Bristol at ESPN. So seriously, they basically have everything under the sun. Someone asked, would you recommend to use LinkedIn when applying or typing out your information? So I actually logged in through the Disney Careers website through LinkedIn, so I had it kind of integrated through LinkedIn, but I also attached my resume, if that makes sense. So I had all the LinkedIn information, but I also attached my PDF of my resume as well. So I would recommend doing that. Someone asked, are there any Disney internships outside of Florida? And yes, like I said, they have them all over the United States, but also the world. There's internships in Shanghai as well, so how cool is that? Usually for those in China, you have to speak Chinese, which makes a whole lot of sense, so just keep that in mind. Okay, lots of people asked also, can you be a Disney intern if you are from overseas? So if you're not from the United States, this is an amazing question. I believe you can, but you have to keep in mind that they do have to factor in if you'll need a visa or not. I actually work with someone named Chris. He's amazing. He's from China, but he went to the University of Ohio, or Ohio State University. I think that's what it's called. So he went to college in America and then he was able to do the internship. So I guess I'm not exactly sure the technicalities of that and what he had to do to make that happen, but he's from China and then he went to Ohio State and then was able to come to Florida to do an internship. So I would definitely say it's possible. but you definitely have to keep in mind, like, there is a lot to consider. Also, there's the Disney International program, where it's kind of like the Disney College program, but it's for students who are international, so you should definitely check that out. You can just look up Disney International program. Someone asked, what's a day in the life at your internship? And I will actually link that down below, because I made a day in the life of my Disney Professional Internship a couple weeks ago, so you can watch that after this. Someone asked, do you prefer working in the parks or working as a Disney intern more? This is such a good question. I absolutely loved working in the parks, and thankfully in my role I still get the opportunity to go in the parks every once in a while, so I'm always super excited to do that. But there's definitely things I miss about my old job, but I would say this job is definitely more fulfilling. It's absolutely more stressful, so that's something to keep in mind. It's definitely harder and more challenging, but I definitely am fulfilled by the challenge for sure, and I feel like it was a really good next step for me, so I wouldn't trade it to go back right now at least. But what I did was super fun as a character performer, so I do miss being able to hug kids all day and dress up, but I'm definitely happy to be where I am. Okay, someone asked, what was your major in college and the types of classes, etc., to be able to get the job? Great question. So I was a telecommunication major, which is basically digital media. So I had lots of helpful classes that kind of prepared me for this. I even took a class on social media, so that was pretty cool, social media management. So my coursework definitely helped prepare me to get where I am, but I would say the biggest thing that helped me prepare me was interning for different companies. Last fall I interned for Universal Orlando Resort on their social media team, and I would say that was probably the biggest thing that helped me get this role. And I had 3 other social media and communications and social media related internships before I came to Disney, so the experience is what really helps you stand apart. I mean, I would say it's super rare to just have your professional internship be your very first internship, your Disney internship. I mean, they definitely want you to have experience already and just be ready to do the job, and of course they're going to train you a bunch, but you still need to have a working knowledge and experience. Okay, another big question I got that I feel like is a really good question to end on. I'm gonna have this one be my last one. I still have quite a few more, but hopefully this will help you, and you can please feel free to ask any additional questions down below. This video is already getting pretty lengthy though. So lots of people asked, what are your career goals for yourself after the internship? And this is a great question. I'm still figuring this out myself. I just have a lot of dreams on my heart for sure. And I love working for Disney. So hopefully maybe I'll be able to continue that. But like I said, I also have some other dreams on my heart that working full-time is kind of tricky to balance everything. So we'll see. I'm still figuring it out, so stay tuned. Again, my internship ends in January, so I will be doing something else starting then, so stay tuned. I'm excited. There's lots of different opportunities that I'm currently working on, so we'll see, but I'm really thankful to be where I am. Again, I know it's a really special place to be, and I worked really hard to get here, so at this time I'm really just trying to soak it up and make the most of it and be thankful every day for it. But I really hope these answers to your questions help you a lot, and good luck if you're applying. Like I said, I'll link my tips on the application process down below and my day in my life, so you can kind of get a better idea of what I do. But thank you all again for your endless support and encouragement, and I can't wait to cheer you on as you chase your dreams. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!